evening, everyone. My name is Jeff Jackson. I am from Arizona. And in answer to the question that is almost certainly forming in your mind, yes. Everyone in Arizona looks just like this. Everyone in Arizona looks like Lenny Kravitz, community college poetry professor. I'm glad that you gave that enthusiastic response to the idea of poetry, because what I'd like to do in our limited time together is share some of my poetry with you. You know what, I'm sorry. This is wrong. This isn't... There's no poetry on here. This is my resume. And it's terribly out of date. It only goes to 2007. If there are any hiring managers out there, quick question. Should I put this in the body of the email, or should I attach it as a PDF? Because if I put it in the body of the email, it'll look as though there's long periods of time when I was unemployed, but I assure you it's just the formatting going wonky. It's just the formatting. How disappointing. He seemed intelligent, he mentioned poetry, and yet he's doing prop comedy. The lowest format. But that's incorrect. As you know, as a sophisticated comedy audience, a prop comic has to have at least 2 props. There we go. This is it. Haiku is a 17-syllable Japanese poem. Traditions about mountains, lakes, rivers, and streams, and the spirits that inhabit those mountains, lakes, rivers, and streams. It's an animist tradition. I write some modern haiku, though. You can take this one home if you like. Don't put your finger in that electric socket. Keep it in my butt. I used to, it's taken me a long time to figure out, just be funny. I used to do things on stage, I had a bit that I loved, which was, I would list all the OPEC nations, all the oil-producing nations, and then I would list the number of barrels of oil per day that they were producing, and then I would give everyone a formula to calculate the weight of each barrel of oil, and then I would declare the final volume and weight of oil pumped from the interior of the Earth onto the surface of the Earth, and this is something that I thought was funny. It wasn't. It took 7 minutes and nobody liked it, but I did it for years. Get out of your own way if you can. I don't often get political, but I have one political poem. Hey, Caucasian dudes, of course you dig hip-hop. It doesn't call you names. Ooh, politics. Boo. Something fun, maybe? Impersonations? I do one impersonation. This is Sean Connery as Harry Potter. Expelliarmus! How much stuff does he have in his butt? Not enough. Not enough stuff. So I used to do, as I said, that great OPEC oil nations bit, but I also used to do one bit that was actually pretty good. And I used to be very ride or die about comedy. I would ride into a set, like, oh, well, the car's on fire, but I made it to the show. This is important. I did 1,000 miles round trip from northern Arizona to Las Cruces, New Mexico. And I got there and they said, oh, we forgot that we booked you. But success. I made a couple of people laugh. This was a good use of my time. What I did, though, that made it worth it was this one bit that I'm going to do for you in the time that we have left. So I used to do a lot of shows in art galleries and punk rock basements, a lot of material after Eastern European performance art trios. I did one where someone threw fireworks into the audience's face and was like, ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Jackson. This basement's full of smoke. Someone's face was just burned. But a lot of my friends, they were painters and they were selling paintings, and I thought, how do I get some of this sweet fine art money? So I'll write poems, I'll make paintings, I'll write poems about the paintings, and I'll sell the paintings from the stage. Now, the paintings that I made were of Master Splinter and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And only one painting survived. It's this one. It's a self-portrait. It's upside down. And there's only one poem that I remember. It's here in my poetry book. I sit with Krang, my brainy friend, inside the Technodrome. You see a hollow metal house, but to me it is a home. This isn't the original costume. The first one that I had, it was a beautiful purple wool that was made for me by my first wife, which put me in good stead, because when the marriage dissolved and I had to move into my 1989 Dodge Aries apartment, I was able to cuddle up with it and survive the winter. Thank you for your time today.